I've mentioned a few times in the last year just how much I am interested in electric modes of transportation, specifically electric scooters. I've done 2 videos on electric scooters in the last year, and I spent an awful lot of time riding those, but there was one in particular that I had looked at but couldn't justify paying for, and it showed up today. Inside of this box is the Ancheer E200 electric scooter. So let me go ahead, get this out of the box, and we'll start putting it together. I'm gonna put you on a tripod. So here on top we've got part of the AC adapter and a bunch of Velcro. And here it is. And there you have it. Lots of tape, lots of foam and everything to hold everything in place. Let me try to remove all of its bonds and whatnot and put it all together. We got the seat loose. And now completely loose. So you can see the seat post. It's got what looks like suspension on it, but it's not actually doing anything. But there are some springs here in the back. And it looks like it can bend forward. You just push this little button here in the back. Flops forward like that. We also have the other half of the battery charger in here. It says it outputs 42 volts at 1.5 amps max, and it has the 3-prong, I think they call it an XLR adapter. Ooh, there's a surprise. You get kind of a little Swiss Army knife here with all the tools and pieces and parts you're gonna need to hopefully assemble. And there's still a lot of plastic on the deck down here, but I think I can stand it up at this point. So this holds into place. Locks like that. This just kind of pushes up there. I'm not sure how the light attaches, but I'll come back to that. There's a kickstand that just pops out right here, so now it can actually stand on its own. The seat post itself can stand up like this, and it just kind of clicks in place. There's a little latch there, and just holds in place like that. Then the rest of the seat post should just slide down in here. And the handlebars, they just kind of click up and into place, like that. Looks like if you want to take them off, you just pull back and they fall down. Got a couple of keys attached up here. Raise you up a little bit so you can see better. This looks to be the LCD display. It should show you your speed and battery status and everything. I think you have horn and light controls over here. Has a full twist throttle over here. I'm gonna take off some more of this plastic. And after a little bit of an incident with the knife taking the plastic off the bottom here, I believe I have everything assembled and ready to go. You can see the grips up here at the top. They've got this copper end on them. This side is the throttle grip. The whole thing does twist. Here you have your display, and I've got the keys underneath it. So if I go ahead and turn that on, you can see up here, it shows speed, mileage, and power. 0 miles on it because I haven't taken it out and ridden it yet. We have brakes on either side. The kickstand down here, which folds up pretty easily. Headlight in the front, you just push the button and it comes on. And by the way, I didn't see any instructions on how to actually install this. One of the included Allen wrenches was able to take this little pink nut off, and then I just stuck it on and put the nut back in place. Pretty simple. There's also a horn. The button here does it. And I think you can see it there. There's a brake light whenever you press the brake from either side. As far as transportation, it does fold up. If you want to put it in the back of your car, you just pull this lever here and the seat will fold down, and then pull this lever up here and the stem will fold down. And it's not the most compact thing in the world, but it's definitely a lot smaller than some other scooters. And that's really what sets this scooter apart for me. It had some of the best specs of any scooter that I've looked at. As you can kind of see on here, it'll do a max of 21.7 miles per hour. I know there are ones out there that'll go a lot faster, but not really in this price range. Has a 36 volt 400 watt motor, and it says it will do 12.5 to 15.5 miles. The other scooter that I've been using, it'll do about 18 miles an hour and go for about 6 or 7 miles. So if this comes anywhere close to what they're claiming, I'm definitely looking forward to taking this out. But as you can see, it's dark. It's nighttime, so we'll wait until tomorrow. All right, so I've got everything set up and ready to go. I will admit I have taken this out on one quick trip. I did about a half mile, but I've got my iPhone here set up as the speedometer because, as I've found, when I turn this on, it shows me the mileage, the miles that I've gone on this current trip. Apparently it's not a rolling thing. The speed is not a number, it's a gauge like this. And then of course this is the power meter. And then when you twist this, it's gonna take off. I'm not gonna do that. The brakes so far seem very responsive. The horn does work and it's very, very loud. The seat may not be quite high enough for me. If I take it any higher, well, I think I've got it at the highest possible point that it can be at safely. And this that I was noticing earlier is actually, it has a lot of springiness to it. So when I sit down on it, it does collapse. So just very early impressions of riding it is very comfortable, but I thought I would take you guys on a quick ride on it as well. Actually currently filming on something I'm making a video about at the same time. This is the Sony RX0 and I have my lavalier mic on me. So hopefully this will keep some of the wind out, and away we go. Does not take off super fast, doesn't get going super fast. Going uphill, I'm at 7 miles an hour. Getting quite windy here. We're up to 14, 15 though. Going up a slight hill at 15 miles an hour is not bad.
Now we're going the other way. It's not quite downhill, but I'm hitting 18, 19 miles an hour. And this thing feels like it's still got more to go. I'm actually going uphill now at 18 miles an hour. I don't know if you can tell that. 19, wow. And the brakes are very, very responsive. Now going downhill there, I did hit 21, but that's going downhill. Let's see if I can do it on flat ground. Yeah, it seems to be leveling out at 18 or 19 miles an hour, and I'm going pretty well on flat ground. 21 though, it just maxed out. Just had a bunch of geese come off in front of me. And again, the brakes did really, really well there. But it does not have a whole lot of torque to it. It doesn't have a whole lot of power, but once it gets going, it goes all right. All right, going up this last hill, it's a bit of a steep one. We are very quickly dropping down. I'm at 11 miles an hour, 10, 9. Yeah, it's dropping off pretty quick. So it doesn't have a whole lot of real power behind it. And I have made it back. As you can probably see from this, I've done a grand total of 1.8 miles on this trip, and it didn't eat into the power at all. I'll double check the mileage just to make sure, and I'll put an overlay if that's wrong in any way. I do like the fact that this comes with a key, so when I'm all done, I can just turn that key off, take it with me, so no one's gonna run off with my scooter. I did have to add these GoPro attachments after the fact, one for my phone and one for a camera or a second phone or whatever. I like the fact that it has a headlight and a horn, and that horn was very helpful with the geese. When you come down this side, you can find the charging port down here. It's kind of hard to see, but it does have a cover over it. And there were two colors of this available. There's black and white. I got the white version, which is kind of like a Panda Stormtrooper look, and I actually really like the way this looks. Gonna have to wait until better weather to really experience it.
And it's a few days later. Because of the weather, I think it's about 15 degrees Fahrenheit out right now. We've had snow. It's been, well, let's put it this way, it's not exactly scooter weather. I've ridden this a few miles at this point. The power has dropped down 1 bar, but I'm definitely gonna have to wait until it's a lot warmer outside, maybe do a follow-up video on it if you guys would like to see it. But the last thing I would like to take a look at is just how this folds up and how compact it can get to see if it'll fit in the back of my SUV. So folding it up, as far as I'm aware, you should just have to lift this lever in the back, pull it down and toward you. And you can see when this folds down, it doesn't actually fold the way that I've got it, so I'll probably have to collapse the seat down. And even then, it doesn't seem to want to go all the way in. Well, I turn the seat sideways, let's see how it works. So then we'll twist this little latch up here in the front, pull this down, and then the bars should come down. And you can actually collapse it down even further by pulling the bars out and down, but where I've got these GoPro mounts on here, I can't exactly do that. But that's about as collapsed as I think it's gonna get. I think if I put the seat back the way that it was, yeah, it'll stay a little taller, which I don't really want in the back of a car. So there we go. Now let's see if it fits in the back of the car. Not bad. So to go ahead and wrap this up because it's kind of chilly out here. This scooter is definitely expensive. It's not the first scooter you will ever buy unless you happen to have about $700 laying around that you just want to throw at a scooter. That said, from my experience on it, it looks like you're gonna get a lot of distance, you're gonna get a lot of speed. You're not gonna get quite as much power as I've seen out of other scooters, but as long as you're not taking off straight uphill, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. It's a lot of fun and it does collapse down to be decently small, which makes it my most convenient scooter and the one that I'll probably be riding for the most part moving forward. So if you'd like to see a follow-up video on this, maybe when we hit spring, let me know down in the comment section below. But thank you guys as always for watching. Hit the thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you again next time.